All right. Welcome to the Spook House. Big day here. I'm joined by my friend Zach. You might know Zach from the Halloween 2, 4, and 5, and soon to be released Halloween 6 watch along. What's up, Zach? How you doing, man?
What's up, dude? Pretty good. Big night last night.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to talk about Halloween Kills, of course. And I guess I should go ahead and put out a disclaimer. All the spoilers. I'm going to talk about
everything.
We're just going to let loose here.
Yep.
But I also want to say that it seems like this movie is already pretty divisive. Personally, I'm kind of, in a lot of ways, middle of the road on it. There's a lot of strong opinions, and these are my opinions. Zach's going to share his. Turns out, we don't share a lot of the same opinions on this movie. Zach called me last night when he got out of the theater quite fired up. Like, dude, are you fucking serious? You like this bullshit? Are you fucking serious?
I was just going to come drop kick your front door down, I think, or something like that. I don't know.
Come to my house and steal my dog. But he's... Yeah, I don't know. We're going to talk about it. But point being, like, there's a lot of strong opinions on this movie. And that's cool. If you hate this fucking movie, if you hate its guts, personally, I think you're eating some sour grapes over there and you don't know how to just kind of let go and have a little bit of fun. But if that's your opinion, that's your opinion.
Yep.
But yeah, we're going to talk all about it. So, Zach, you have had time to sleep on the movie. You called me immediately and you fucking hated it. After letting it digest a little bit and thinking about it, what are your thoughts right now?
After watching a couple little breakdowns and stuff this morning and just kind of taking it all in, I'm just split down the road, man. I'm 50-50 here. Like, it's going to be one of those movies, I think, as a population, not just your average fan, but like as a Halloween fan, you either enjoyed it like 100% or you just throw this in the dirt. Like it's, I feel like you're going to have good takeaways and bad takeaways, but something about the way this movie was made, the dialogue, just it's one of the things you either loved it, you're like, you walked away with like the kills, everything was good, this is awesome, the flashbacks, or you just saw everything negative. Kind of like what you just said.
I don't think it has to be that black and white though.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's a lot about this movie that I love, and there's also some shit that I shook my head at and went, wow, that's fucking stupid. But it kind of met my expectations. So with 2018, obviously nobody knew what to expect. And I was really taken aback by all the humor, which thank God there wasn't a lot in this one. That's Zach's son in the background.
Yeah, he's here.
He's fine. What up, Weston?
Yeah. He's fine.
But in 2018, I mean, there was a lot of really dumb humor, and you got the Dr. Sartain twist. That was really stupid. And I left that movie with more of a negative feeling to start with than I did with this one.
Right.
Because with this one, I kind of adjusted my expectations a little bit. I was like, still hadn't seen the trailer or anything, but I was like, I'm sure that I'm going to like some stuff and I'm going to really dislike some stuff. And it kind of met those expectations. So, I don't know. What were your expectations going into this? Were you like, yo, this is going to be way better than 2018?
Yeah. With me and you, like, I didn't see the trailer either. You didn't. I'm sure I doubt there was a lot of people Halloween fans that did not, just like jump all over every trailer like we talked about. But, I kind of went in as like, okay, we kind of had this movie last year. We were ready to go. And then they postponed it because COVID, et cetera, et cetera. So you're like double ramped up. Like, you're like, okay, it's Halloween. They're releasing it on Halloween. To me, my expectations were pretty on the roof. Like, when they revamped and brought back 18 and kind of made it their own thing, and the way it was shot, the story, there was a lot of silly moments in that one as well, like humor, with the kid and the babysitter stuff. But the way it was shot, the way you kind of Michael was portrayed like he, did a lot more like stalking and stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot of promise to it, and
right.
They got a lot right in that movie. I've always said I was very frustrated with that movie because there was some stuff they absolutely nailed, but then there was this other kind of weird humor shit and kind of cringy moments.
Yep.
And thank God the humor was at least turned down significantly in this one. I mean, I know there is still some.
Right. Yeah, we'll get into that.
But the tone of this movie felt much a little darker than 2018.
Well, yeah, definitely. Definitely a little darker as far as like the kills and stuff go. But I just right off the bat, like 18 was a way better movie to me, like 100%. I don't know if it's because you were waited so long to see Michael again, and then they bring it back, and then he's, you get this, you kind of get the story, like you said, you get like some type of promise, like here's, we're gonna lead you through this. We got these final girls, we got Laurie Strode, we got, you end it with the trio, and then you're like, okay, then we wait 2 years, then you get 2 years and or whatever. Well, 18, 19, 20, so.
Yeah, this was a long wait. Like,
right.
Maybe that kind of hurt it in a way because
right.
I almost felt fatigued from this movie before I even saw it because I've anticipated it for so long. And by the time I'm antsy to like get this podcast over with in a way because I'm like, it's just kind of been brewing in the back of my mind for so long. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that did hurt it, that layover, and then being hyped for it like last year. And then you remember the day when they were like, okay, we're postponing it, what that made you feel like. And then just having that build up to just like, be like, okay, we're ready,
Yeah. But even then, I kept my expectations low, and I went into it with an open mind. I didn't expect it to blow me away, and I didn't expect it to be a total piece of shit. But let's get to some of the pros of the movie. Now, I don't know if you've changed your mind on this at all, but the flashback stuff, I fucking love, dude. I thought the production team, like just the look of it and everything, looked like a movie from '78.
Right. They captured like that vibe, right? They did get that right. Okay. They got the look, they got the lighting, everything was kind of like they hit with like the soundtrack stuff, the Lonnie, right? Lonnie, the Lonnie part,
when Michael came out of that closet, I think, and grabbed the cop by the neck, like that moment, I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
And when he drops the cop after he's shot, the way he just drops him and dips out of frame, like in the blink of an eye, I was like, yes. Because I just really loved all that.
Yeah, I thought the part that just took, the Loomis stuff was, I just don't know. It didn't sound like him.
I was on board for it, man. When I saw Loomis, I was like, what's up? Here we go.
Okay, so when he started talking in the background, I was like, okay, please, let's just leave it like this, and let's just have like a Loomis, commentary, if you will, or whatever. But then when he came in and he was like, did he kill again? Tell me, did he kill again? And I was like, are you got him? He had like this prosthetic nose or something, or if it was CGI, I don't know how they did it. It kind of just took me out of it. I had to almost laugh. I was like, holy shit. It was cool to see like his portrayal of him, but it was like, it's kind of funky,
Well, here's what I like about that. It felt like Loomis just happened to be in the scene. It wasn't like this build up where you see the shadow of Loomis and then he turns around and there's a fast zoom in and it's Dr. Loomis. He's like, did Michael kill again? Yeah. No, I'll give you that. Like that line.
Yeah.
They could have. Why would he ask that?
It's like he killed again. What do you think he's doing? He's.
I mean, at least ask, is Michael upstairs or something?
Something.
But
that was
like, But I was like, you know what? Whatever. I got Dr. motherfucking Loomis on screen right now. Donald Pleasance is dead, folks.
Yeah.
We're never going to see him again.
You're never going to see it again. Yeah.
He did look a little, I mean, obviously you can't get it perfect, but I was like, yo, I'm here for this. And when Loomis was on the porch and Michael was in the yard and the slow, I thought that was just well done.
Well, that scene was cool because they had him in the background, right? Like it was almost like he was in a blurred, like you were focused on Michael and you couldn't really see his face. You could see like his image, right? You're like, oh shit, that's like, okay. Kind of, his look is iconic, but
I love that they could have really fucked up and overused Loomis.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's in the movie for maybe what, 5
couple minutes
seconds,
or we'll flash throughout the movie, right? They show a couple of scenes, the part of the flashback that I guess you have to tell a story of like why Hawkins is there, like, what's his, but why do we, I just never understood, like, what did we need that? Why did we need to see Hawkins shoot his partner in the neck? And like, I guess you had to put him in that spot, right? Because they're telling something, what their story is going through is like evil or whatever in that spot, right? They put the partner in that spot. Mm-hmm. He's looking out the window and then it kills him and then, goes to kill him and then he gets shot and then Hawkins is there. I guess you have to.
Well, it expands on Hawkins' story.
Right.
You learn why, like in 2018, I always had this, I was like, why did he say that? In 2018, he's like, I'm not going to stand in the way of justice this time.
Right. And
I remember when I watched it, I was like, well, what does he mean this time?
Right.
So in this one, they go back and they do explain that. And I thought I was cool with that because I like Hawkins as a character. I hated that they killed him in 2018. So I like that we get more backstory on Hawkins and he'll probably be a bigger part in Halloween Ends. Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that aspect of it. Loomis was going to be killed, but he stopped. I mean,
Myers was going to be. Yeah, Loomis was going to kill him. Right.
Nobody shoots Loomis. Okay.
Right. Nobody shoots Loomis.
But Hawkins stopped him, and he has that regret with him for the rest of his life. He kind of, it's kind of like when Tommy Jarvis brought back Jason in Part 6. So now he's responsible for everything else.
Yeah. The one shot that was like kind of weird to me was like, shout out to that guy. I think he was in. I just watched. That actor was in. Oh man, I can't remember the guy. The partner. He was in the one with the werewolf.
Snow.
Yes,
something?
yeah, something. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but I just watched it like a couple months ago. But it was a good movie. He's a great actor. But he was like, he's staring out the window, staring at Haddonfield, and they're like standing on this, like almost like a cliff or something, and they look out, and it's like this fucking vast town. Like you don't really think of you think of Haddonfield as like this tiny little. You know what I mean? And like you saw, and it was like this radio tower and like all this shit, like this huge. Yeah. I don't know. It was kind of like, wow, it just kind of took me out of that. Because when you think Haddonfield, you think of like a little town, the little streets, the little, all the little things we've seen throughout the years. For them to be up on that and having that flashback, see like all that. And the first thing I thought of when I saw that tower, I was like, oh, there's where Bucky got killed. There's the power plant or whatever,
It's the moon tower from Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, or that, yeah.
So yeah, I thought that flashback, all that was just, I loved it.
Yeah, they could have done way worse, and I think it was cool.
Oh man, could have been so much worse.
Yeah.
I wanted to hang out in that world for a little bit longer. I know that wouldn't have really made sense as far as a movie goes, but I was like, no, let's stay here. This looks fucking sick. Like, just give me a Halloween remake and do this. I don't give a shit. Like,
so then you get that, and then they go right to them in the truck, which because you see at the end of 18, and then you kind of already know, right? Without even seeing, like, if you just see, look, I mean, this picture on the background here, you already know he's alive, right? So it's like, how do they do it? You kind of already know. He's like, you put 2 and 2 together at the end of 18. You're like, okay, there, get the gun locker. He's going to be there, right? So you get the whole, right?
That was the gun locker. I
right.
Didn't,
So that's where the gun,
a room? Okay.
It was the gun locker. He's behind there, and you get the firemen show up, right? Firefighters show up.
Yep.
And,
which I was like, yo, this is like the Inferno match. Michael's like, what's up?
Okay, right.
I loved it, man. I mean, I know it's very action and
right.
we're not used to seeing Michael like this, but I mean, just visually, I was like, yo, this looks sick.
And I think that's one of the things I think they went wrong with. They should have like grasped that moment, right? You got this burning house. You got like Michael's like rising out of whatever, the ashes, whatever you want to say. Yeah. And it's like, all right, here he is. This dude is, he's a badass, whatever you want to call him. And it's like, seemed kind of fast, I mean, it was, I think we talked about it before when, your lady saw the trailer, she told you it was like a Jason Bourne movie, right? It's kind of what she imagined, right?
Sure.
So, and I kind of expected it to be like that. And it kind of lived up to that. I was like, damn, the kills were cool. They were brutal, but this was the start of where it kind of just went wrong. Like for me, the thing with Michael for me is like what made him scary through the years, right? Like the early movies, maybe not towards the later ones, because they went down this crazy hole, all the crazy paths, but you don't, the way he moves and the way you see him visually, like you surround him like that, and he's just, I don't know, you just see every little, and he's like all of a sudden becomes like this, I don't know how to put it.
Kind of like when the Ninja Turtles were attacking Shredder at the end of the first movie. They're like running up to him. He's fucking... See, yeah, I mean, look, it is very different. We've never seen Michael
move like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I was like, okay, yeah, it's different. But at this point, we know that they're not going to do like an atmospheric slow burn kind of thing. Would I like to see that?
Yeah.
Sure, I would love to see some like A24 version of Halloween where it's more like the original, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
So for what it was, I was like, okay, this is fucking cool, because let's be real. Why do we love Halloween so much? It's for Michael, and it's to see him killing. And boy, does he do a lot of killing in this movie.
A lot of killing. Yeah, I mean, it was just hard for me, like, to see him like that. You know what I mean? It just felt weird. It just almost felt like an out-of-body experience to see all of the stuff that he did, like, through every movie, right? And then to see him standing in front of, I mean, was that the first time you, like, maybe not multiple people. I mean, there was, like, what did they say, 7 or 8 firemen or something?
Yeah, well, I guess in Halloween 6, you got the hospital massacre.
Yeah, you see some of that, right? I mean, the flashes and stuff. This is like, he goes full John Wick in this movie, dude. He literally, or not even that. What did I say when I was sitting there? I was like, I think I nudged my wife and I said, he's the fucking MacGyver of Halloween, dude. This dude he finds anything and everything in this movie and turns it into a weapon. Right.
But I for one, okay, that's MacGyver. Yeah. The MacGyver Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. But I was here.
Yeah.
For it,
you were hyped, like, right? The burning.
Dude, this version of Myers, in my opinion, this is the most like brutal, relentless, cold-blooded portrayal of Myers I've ever seen. And James Jude Courtney, this has solidified my spot as my favorite Myers ever. I mean, I've said that before, but there's something about his movements, and like I like how he doesn't waste any time.
Right.
Like he grabs what he wants to grab, and he knows exactly what he's going to do. He's like a assassin or something.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Like he's a killer, but it's like, it almost, there was a wall there. It was like, you almost didn't want to, he was teetering on that, like, was he about to break out and do some, kung fu shit, or like, you know what I mean? Or take it down a notch, right? But no, just right off the bat, he did a great job. His look, the look of the mask, his portrayal,
so good.
The way he moved, it was great, right? That was great. Nothing wrong with that. But before, hold on, I meant to say something for the flashback. When they had a flashback, they fucking had put, and who was it? They said, I saw his face. It was Jamie, right? She said she saw his face. Jamie Lee Curtis, right? Or Lori.
Okay.
That she saw his face. Was that during that flashback or something? I don't remember. I remember it was a flashback and they showed fucking Tony Moran's face, and I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Like,
no, they didn't. They didn't show Tony Moran's face. They cut right as, and I was like, if they show this dude's face, he's gonna. Yeah, please, don't give that dipshit any more spotlight. He's gonna be like,
I was in
Halloween Kills. I'm Michael Myers. Yeah. That guy is trash.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry, I meant to say that earlier, but
thank God they didn't show him.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've always had a little gripe with that moment. Totally unneeded in the original Halloween.
For her to take it. Yeah. There's a moment in this one too, right?
You don't need to see. You don't see it as clear, but in the original Halloween, it's like you could have just had Laurie's reaction and not Tony Moran's fucking face on screen, and it would have been just as effective. No, more effective. Just like your imagination. Something there. But
they always kind of do. In this one, they kind of do that. But there is a scene that's very similar to that. It's almost like a throwback to that in the park, at the park scene, and when they're in the park. With Lindsay Wallace. Right.
She starts to pull his mask off.
Yeah, starts to kind of take it off, just like, but we'll get to that. But so, okay, so you get the fireman scene.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to the bar, right? This is where the bar scene happens. Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, like, we don't have to break things down chronologically, but if you want to...
Yeah, I'm just kind of flowing through it here.
Yeah, we can like loosely follow through it. Yeah.
Okay, so just
and we
quick...
meet Tommy Doyle.
Yep. The whole, 4 people from the original cast.
The whole gang is back. I'm surprised Lester the dog wasn't there.
Well, he did. He had a cameo.
Oh shit! Wait, I don't think that was Lester.
Remember he's like, at the flashback, they're like, there's a dead dog in here. And he's like, what? Hawkins is like, what did you say? He's like, nothing. And just like,
they show the question, was that Lester the dog? Or was that did Michael kill again?
It was like a
did he kill another dog?
German Shepherd or something. So it probably was. It kind of had yeah.
Shout out to Lester getting some work. It's cool to see.
So you meet the whole cast, but like 3 of those were the original actors, correct? Like the only one that wasn't was Tommy, right?
Yeah.
Right. Who was I can't remember, the kid from The Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Michael Anthony Hall.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
And
I liked him up until we're gonna get to all the mob stuff, but when his whole focus was rallying the mob, and that's when I was like, all right, they could have done more with that character. He started out as like okay, I like this guy. I like Michael Anthony Hall's acting here. I think everything's acted well, and when they, this is a nitpick, I gotta say it, the word boogeyman is overused.
Yeah.
I'm so over that fucking word. Stop saying boogeyman, please. But when he was like, the Haddonfield boogeyman, I'm like, shit, here we go.
Yeah, it when he started doing this part, it was like, okay, it was cool to see some of that cast back, but to me is like, okay, you could almost tell, like, what have they done in like the past 40 years or whatever. The acting was, I don't know if it was like the dialogue or just their acting. Mm-hmm. It was just like, at one point when he started saying that like little story he was telling, and he's like introducing everybody one by one with the spotlight, I literally thought he was going to break the fucking 4th wall and like look at the camera and be like, I'm Tommy Doyle from fucking Halloween 78. And like,
I mean, that's kind of what he did.
That's kind of what they did, right? And it was kind of like, it felt like if you saw 18 and then you go to see this movie, you kind of know the vibe, right? Like you kind of have some history, but did they really need to do that for like an average fan, I get, or for like just a normal person, right? You walking in on the street on a Friday night, you want to see Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
Did they really have to break it down that much is what I mean. You know, like I felt like they went too far with it, with like breaking it down.
Well, maybe it's because we know these characters so well.
Right.
You got to think average dude off the street that's, hey, new Halloween. I like those movies. I've seen a couple of those. I guess that stuff is more for them.
Yeah.
Is it? Look, I'm not going to sit here and defend this script and a lot of the dialogue. I agree.
Yeah.
There's a lot of not great written scenes in this, and some of the line delivery is like, but like I said, I expected some of this when I went into it. I was like, this is the shit I was talking about. There it is. Okay, but I'm not gonna let it ruin the fun for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I agree. There's definitely some shit dialogue. One in particular, when Marion Chambers is like, "This is for Dr. Loomis."
Oh fuck yes!
I'm like,
oh my god,
dude.
Yeah. Who wrote this shit? Like a 4-year-old. It's like my son wrote this script. Actually, I think it wasn't that bad, but parts of it was like, I felt like I was watching, like I was at my grandmother's house watching a Hallmark movie or something. Like the acting was like, it was just weird. Parts of it were just so like just spot on, just like rally the troops, and then and you get to that mob scene, and they're oh man, I don't even want to say it.
Yeah, let's. I know. I'm kind of running down my cons. I'm at my pros list here. We're gonna get to some cons, and okay. So we meet Tommy Doyle. Overall, I like this character, even though by the end of it, keeps harping the same thing over and over. It's like, okay, well, they kind of wasted that a bit. So in this movie, Laurie is sidelined for a lot of the movie.
Yeah, I have that wrote down here. The first thing I thought, and I told my wife, said, this is very reminiscent of H2, right? She's hospitalized. She's at one point, she's shooting her own ass with drugs to get her like numbed up.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Like she's essentially not a part of this movie almost,
Is she wearing a shitty wig in this one too?
I get that is right. Cause did you see her at the red carpet event? She was dressed as her mom from Psycho. Did you see that? It was pretty cool.
Yeah. No, they filmed this. That was definitely her real hair.
Right.
But I gotta say, overall, I walked away from this movie liking the Laurie Strode character a little more just because she wasn't the focus this time. And I like the part where her and Hawkins are talking about, I guess they had a little love for a bit. And it at least showed a softer, not do as I say side of Laurie that we haven't seen during these remakes. She was way more tolerable in this.
She had a few moments, right? With that kind of like, we gotta get out of here and we gotta find him. And
wasn't she didn't she, when they were chasing after the mental patient guy, she was like, you're all a bunch of sheep.
Yeah, you're a bunch of sheep. It's not him. Yeah. So she was a lot better, I felt like, but I mean, she really didn't play a huge role in this one. But she was, like you said, more tolerable, not so like bat shit crazy, right? She was had a couple moments like that, but not as bad, right? So she's in the hospital, and then trying to think.
Well, since she is sidelined, one thing happened that I was hoping would happen. They really stepped up Andy Matichak's character, Allison, and I really enjoyed her in this. Like she stepped up as that Laurie Strode-like character and really held her on. Like I thought she was a little badass in this.
Yeah. The mom, I can't remember her name. Karen. She was kind of almost like a different character in this. Like obviously she's like plays the mom role, right? With the daughter, but you know, she was taught all this stuff from like a young age, right? Like and how to like fend for yourself and stuff. And I wish you could have seen a little bit more of that, right? Obviously at the end, what she does with Michael to save her daughter. And so she shows a little bit of that, but kind of felt like you wanted to see a little more of that kind of Laurie mentality from her. You know what I mean? Not so, and the, you know, and the mom scene, I mean, we'll get to that too, where she helped, you know, like I told.
Oh, we're going to get there.
But yeah,
happy thoughts right now though.
Yeah. I enjoyed the daughters. She did do a good job, and obviously what they're going to potentially do with her in the next movie right now with how this one ends. You're going to see, you hope to see her, you know, have it probably even maybe side by side, right?
Yeah.
At the end, you know, at the next one with Jamie Lee, you know, or with Laurie.
I predict that, I don't know why I had this thought, but Allison is going to somehow, in order to kill Michael, she's going to have to kill Laurie at the same time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
And Laurie's going to be like, just do it. And she's going to be like, okay, I love you.
Yeah.
What? I don't know. It could go that way. Who the fuck knows? I mean, I'm not going to pontificate on Halloween Ends just yet. We'll kind of throw out our predictions for that.
Yeah.
At the very end. But yeah, Andi Matichak, I wanted to see more of her in 2018, and I got to see more of her in this. I think she does great. Allison's boyfriend, Cameron, went and pulled a Brady on us.
Yep.
Halloween 4 style.
Yep.
The more I think about it, you know, in 2018,
you hated him.
Yeah, you're like, I want this.
You wanted to hate him, right? Yep.
Yeah. But he steps up and he helps as much as he can up until Michael gets a hold of him. He gets a fucking...
That was pretty rough.
Michael took it easy on Brady compared to what he does to Cameron. Holy shit.
That was pretty rough. I think that was like, as far as like there was brutal kills, right? Yeah. But as far as like made you feel some type of way, right? That shit's pretty rough. When what he did to him, and like that scene in the hallway and the stairway, and she's like looking at him, and he's like obviously kind of still alive. And
I thought it was fucked up because Michael looks at Allison for a second, then looks back.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, "Oh, watch this."
Oh, what's up, bitch? Come up here.
Twists his fucking head. back. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Michael gives no fucks in this movie.
Yeah.
My God.
At that point, I thought he was literally going to just rip his head off.
I thought he was going to pull his fucking head off. I was like, yo, that would be so fucking graphic. I had to be like, oh my God, really?
But no,
he was about to do it.
It hit me like that was probably one of the top kills, just because like the emotional part of it, right? You can kind of put yourself, you know, like they're looking at each other, they got this love interest, and then they hated each other, then they like each other again, they're hugging in the hospital, and they go to you know, we're gonna fight, and I mean that was pretty rough. Great scene.
The showdown aspect at the Myers house, like the final act with Allison and Cameron and Karen shows up. I really liked all that. You know, when they find the bodies of Big John and Little John.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay, we're not going to talk about that.
Hey, we'll talk about it. Dude,
we're talking pros right now.
Okay.
We get the cons.
Hey, I grew up watching Mad TV, so I love Michael McDonald.
Don't touch Dom.
Oh, like Stewart? Yeah.
Stewart.
For those that don't know, that's Stewart from Mad TV.
Holy
I love that guy. I always thought he was super underrated.
Oh,
so to
my
see
God,
him in anything, I'm like...
Dude, oh my God. I died laughing. Me and my wife was like, don't touch me, don't.
Look what I can do.
Look what I can do. Oh my, yeah. She immediately was like, "That you're kidding? That's the dude from Mad TV." And I was like, "Yeah." We just started like died laughing.
He's like, okay, yeah, those were comedic moments,
Right.
but those were just funny characters. It wasn't like in 2018 people were delivering a funny line,
one-liners.
Yeah. These were just naturally funny people. Like when he saw his reflection in the mirror.
He's like, "Oh!"
I was like, "That's
okay.
That's fucking funny."
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole end sequence there, everything that takes place in the Myers house, the death of Cameron, the fight with Allison, and then Karen comes in and stabs him Halloween 5 style with a pitchfork through the back.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is pretty fucking cool. I love all this.
Yeah. That was cool. That was cool. And then you proceed into the next scene where she drags him out. That's where you kind of lost me on that. You had this high, right? And then you bring him out into the street, and then fucking cue the Gangs of New York, right? Like that's where we'll get,
Yeah. I will say this. I like the fact that, okay, Myers overall, his character is expanded a little bit more in this movie. For one, we learn that his mask does hold a big significance to him.
To him, right?
Yeah, because when Kyle Richards, Lindsay Wallace was trying to pull it off, he immediately threw down to fix it, and then Karen lures him out.
Right.
So I like that. It's not super in your face, but it's just another little layer to Michael that I appreciate it.
And we could get to that after the end part, but to kind of see what your thoughts on what he
showdown. Okay, other than Charles fucking Cypher saying, "Hello, Michael, it's Halloween. Everyone's entitled to one good scare." I'm like, yo, who the fuck? I guess Charles Cyphers was on set and everybody was like, guys, he's really nice. He wants to deliver this line. It would mean a lot. Let's just let him say it.
Give it to him.
And they're like, okay, Charles, here you go.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
And that goes back to, there was a lot of stuff in this that were just like too on the nose, right? It was just like if Pete turned and just looked at the camera, it was like, everybody's entitled to one good scare, and then just started shooting him or something, that would have been like perfect for the way that was shot. But I don't know. We'll get to the end part, but
let's go ahead and talk about it. So the showdown in the street where Michael gets surrounded.
Yeah.
I was fine with it. Was it visually weird to see Michael surrounded by a group of people and they're taking turns beating the shit out of him? Yeah, kinda.
Dude, at one point, okay, listen, at one point, if you rewatch this, the dude walks up as Michael's down on the ground and throws a fucking Loomis and beats the shit out of him with like a 2x4 straight out of.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Halloween 5, right?
Yeah.
After they cage him, or was that 6? No, that's 5. 5. And he was beating him with a 2x4. I was like, holy shit, this is great.
Well, they kind of Tommy Doyled and Halloween 6'd his ass. They just beat the shit out of him. And while that happens, after it happens, you get this, Laurie's talking about, which I like this part, how she's talking to Hawkins, saying that she's now convinced that Michael is superhuman or not human. There's something more to him.
Yeah.
And then it shows Michael waking up, and he's like, all right, I'm about to break off a piece for everybody. Here you go. You want it. Kills Charles Cyphers. Doesn't he slash his throat?
He slashes a lot of throats, and a lot of stabbing. But the way it was shot was just disappointing to me. It was kind of like you wanted to see something similar to that. As much as it was weird to see at the beginning of the movie with the firefighters, you wanted to see something shot like that. it like pulled back a little bit, right? I guess.
Well,
for me,
when they were beating the shit out of Michael, that was more action style,
right? Just cutting, right?
Lots
Just
of cuts.
Boom, boom. Right.
I noticed when he wakes up and he starts killing people, it's kind of artistically done. It's
you're like seeing his face, like it's like he's got like a backlit with his face like looking down, right? And you're seeing like motions.
Yeah, everything slows down, and then he kills Tommy, and there's that moment where everything stops and you hear breathing for a few beats, and they're looking each other in the eyes, and that was good because that moment needed some breathing room, I think, because you don't want it to be like full on Jason Bourne slashing style. We've already seen enough of that, so I like that they shot that part a little differently.
Right.
And then, well, before that, Tommy tells Karen, like, hey, get out of here. We got this.
Yeah. Which was...
and she goes back to the Myers house and goes upstairs because she sees Michael in the window.
Yeah, she sees little Michael in the window, right? Yep.
Little Mike.
Little Mike.
And, Michael kills her. Now, do you think he killed her?
I do. But my thing is, like, how does he's on the street, kills all those people, and then there's like the whole town is like at the house, basically.
He's sneaky, dude.
I know.
He's sneaky.
And then he pops up and he's like, boom, right? But is she dead? I believe that she's dead, right? For
kind of an homage to Psycho, the way he killed her. Like, she like, I don't know, it kind of reminded me of Psycho.
Yeah.
And no, go ahead.
To see her go out like that was what I was saying earlier. Like, you wanted to see a little more, you would have liked to seen her go out with a little more fight, right? A little more vigor, a little more something, instead of just, she's there. Obviously that spot is going to mean something, right? Or you're seeing your reflection. She sees her reflection. She's like, what I've kind of taken in is like, she's kind of seen the darkness or taken in the darkness. And then, she lets her guard down or whatever you want to say. And then he's there, right?
Well, throughout the movie, you learn that every time Michael kills, he returns to the Myers house to look out the window.
Right. Yeah.
So there's that. That's also another.
Well, and the breakdown at the end with Hawkins and Laurie saying every time he kills, he grows stronger, right? And kind of, so, where are they going to take this? At this point, he's not human, right? There's no, like, he's not human. Like,
definitely not.
Like,
no.
he has to have some type of, is he like an entity or something? Is he like almost like possessed, or is it like, how are they going to turn, like, is he a fucking T-1000? Like, what? Like, I don't know. It really, he's like to an extent, like, when he took that mask off at one point, I thought I was like, what if they like showed like a thorn symbol or something inside this mask or some shit?
I would love that.
They gotta be some, there's, and something I watched this morning, I can't remember which, shout out to whatever YouTube that was, but they were talking about the significance of that knife that she brought from the house and then left with Laurie. And then, but that knife was from Laurie's house. So I kind of like didn't really, right? Yeah. Remember he pulls that and she has it at the end.
I thought that was going to come into play later.
Yeah, that's what, I think somebody said that and I kind of wanted to debunk that. Is like, why, what meaning would that have? I think she just had it as a weapon, right? Because you wanted to have something for Laurie to say she could like defend herself, right?
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, where do they go? Where do they go? He's not human. He's got to have something, are they going to go straight Thorn trilogy here on us and try and pull out some type of,
Oh, I would love that. But, well, I don't know. Not in the context of these movies. For Halloween Ends, do you think it will be, hopefully it's not a continuation more of this night? Can't be.
I think I messed up already, which spoilers or whatever. I mean, they've already said that the ends is going to be set 4 years later.
Good.
So it's set apparently now I guess they haven't even started. Have they started shooting that or no? I don't know.
January of this year. They're going to start filming in Georgia.
Right. Let's get down to Georgia. We're going to get a little cameo in there. But
hey, man, we can go down to Wilmington and check out the filming locations.
Yeah, true.
There were so many filming locations in this. The park, where he kills all the Aryan and everybody.
Yeah, the kids,
I've been to that park. It's right off Market Street.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because you lived down there, for a while, right? Yeah.
Yep. And the community. That's where I went to community college at Haddonfield Memorial.
So look out that window.
The same one that homeboy jumped out of. Oh my God.
But no, it's I don't know what were we talking about?
Well, before we
right?
talk about Halloween Ends or whatever, let's talk about this was by far my biggest gripe with this movie was the whole side story of the escaped inmate.
Yeah, right. The little,
that shows up to the hospital, all 4'11" of them.
The penguin, literally the penguin.
Looking like Oswald Cobblepot running through the halls of Haddonfield Memorial. And people were like, that's got to be Michael Myers that killed all these fucking people.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole evil dies tonight.
Yeah.
They think that is Michael, and you got this mob scene chasing him through the hospital. There's this emotional moment when Karen tries to help him, and he breaks the window and jumps out. It was like,
graphic though, right? When he hits that pavement.
Yeah.
I think you were like, they're going to show this, right? Well, why would they show it? And then they showed it, and he's just like a watermelon busted all over the ground, like crazy, right?
The whole thing just felt like, why?
Yeah.
It didn't progress any other parts of the story at all. It was just this added, it's almost like a social commentary about mob mentality, which sure, there are some valid points because that kind of shit does happen.
Right.
But why is it in this Halloween movie?
Well, I think you had texted me the other day talking about how David Gordon Green, right? Isn't that? Yeah. He's going to maybe go more, have political issues and pandemic stuff in ends.
I don't know.
And like,
I hope that was taken out of context and it was just, I do not want to have some COVID commentary.
Yeah. How it's affected Haddonfield and shit 4 years later, right?
Yeah, it's like that's just an angle we definitely don't need.
Okay, so here's my take on the hospital scene. Like, you pretty much said what I thought. Like, it was silly, stupid, but when that guy walked in there and the mob started chasing him, what I originally thought was going to happen, which would have been, I guess it's not the way they went, but I thought that guy was going to lead the mob out of the hospital, potentially, and then Michael was going to show up there somehow or something, and they were going to have like a showdown or something, because she left a knife, and you're like thinking, and the whole time, Judy Greer's like, oh, she's coming, he's going to come here, he's coming here. And you're like, maybe they were going to like pull the whole mob, that guy was going to like pull the mob out of the hospital, and then you could have like a little showdown, kind of like they did in H4, right? They Loomis and everybody left the house so you could have that little showdown, right?
I got a town full of beer bellies running around with shotguns.
And that's kind of what it
next, huh?
Felt like, but it obviously they didn't go that route, and it just made that subplot made no sense.
Yeah. Speaking of Halloween 4, it was kind of reminiscent of. I much prefer Earl and the Boys over
these. Yeah,
evil dies tonight.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, if I hear that slogan one more time, my eyes are gonna roll so far in my fucking head, I won't be able to see for a week. Like what? Like stop saying that.
The Boogeyman and Evil Dies Tonight, and just a lot of repetitive
if you take that shit out, like
Yeah.
it's, I don't know, man. Like I know David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, and Scott Teems wrote the script. I just wish they would have taken some of that shit out. Like, there's no way they didn't know, like, okay, a lot of people are probably going to think this side story of the mental patient's pretty stupid, right? Like, nobody had that thought?
Yeah. Yeah, it's,
Didn't they learn from Dr. Sartain? Have you met one person that was like, you know what? I kind of like that twist in 2018. I haven't heard a single person say, I really like the social commentary about the mob and all that stuff.
It's kind of like in H5 with the stupid cops. So a scene like that, it's like when you're sitting there and you're like, do we really need to be doing these sound effects and all this silly shit? It's like when they're sitting there through that, they don't think that, like this is kind of weird,
obvious. Right? It's so obvious. Like, have they run out of ideas or something?
Yeah.
They could have taken that time with the mental patient guy and taken that time and added it to something else. Maybe a little more backstory into Lindsay Wallace and Marion Chambers. Like they could have, because it's kind of like they were just there, and the only thing we know about them was, they were there 40 years ago, and we don't really know much of anything else about them beyond that. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I couldn't make a better fucking movie. I mean,
yeah. We got what we got, right?
We got what we got, and we got to live with it.
But as far as the kills go, do you want to talk about like?
Absolutely.
You got a top couple kills or like
the
something?
One that stands out to me, we already kind of talked about Cameron's death was really good. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these kills, one thing I noticed, like I really felt for some of them, victims. Like I felt bad for Cameron. I was like, stop the damn match, my God. Yeah.
And some of them were just okay. So there were a couple good ones. That was probably the top one. The scene at the beginning, which had a good and one of the worst parts of it for me, where when he enters that home, right, with the I guess whatever husband, wife, or whatever they were, and he slow walks in that kitchen and just like looks around for a second, grabs that light, busts it, and just walks right up to her and just sticks that thing right in her throat. And it's just like, holy.
Dude, I jumped in my seat when I saw that, because apparently that was in the trailer, but I was like,
we wouldn't know that. Yeah.
Like I actually jerked when he stuck that into her neck. I thought that was really badass. But yeah. And also, what do you think about the husband's death?
So that's the part that I thought was bad. Like originally, it's like, okay, you grab him through the window, you kill him, but then it's like, okay, you post him up in there, and he literally, it was like, for a second, I thought I was watching like a Rob Zombie Halloween. He took every knife. You liked it?
I loved it.
No way. Why would he do that? Why would he do that?
Because he's always done that. This is just the first time we've ever seen it. We know that Michael likes to
artistic, almost, right? Right.
He likes to leave his victims in creative ways, but they never show that.
Yeah.
So his body language was almost like that of like a child. Like, ooh, what should I do next? Oh my God. And it was weird to see that side of Michael, because we just literally never get to see it, but we know it's there. Like, why does he set these traps for people to fall out of the fucking attic and all this other stuff?
Well, he showcases it at the end of this, right? With Big John, Little John. He sets them up in the pose that they're in their photo. Yeah. And it's like straight up the Breakfast Club pose, and has the music playing and everything, right? He puts the record on and has them in that pose just like they're in the photo. And I was like, oh, this is that, but he does, like, I get it. And I guess I was taken back because you don't see that side of, or like, you don't get to see him express himself like that, right?
Uh-huh.
But I was like, okay, 1 knife. Okay, 2 knives. And then he goes back for like 3 and 4 and whatever. I was like, felt kind of weird, but I guess that's probably why it felt weird, was like, we've never kind of really seen that part of him before. But
his body language was very interesting. It was almost like he was making a painting. He was like, ooh, what knife would look good here? Ooh, man. Ooh, this one.
Yeah.
It was definitely different, but I was cool with it.
Yeah. As far as like, and then the other good kill would have been Big John, right? Big John was over the top, right? Stabs him in under the armpit, right? Oof. And then proceeds to like almost gouge his eyeballs out, and like it's almost like he like rips his whole head backwards almost, it looked like, you know?
Yeah. That guy was in, have you seen The Righteous Gemstones on HBO? Oh man. It's a Danny McBride show about the mega church preachers, but that guy is in that show and he's fucking hilarious.
Really?
So I guess that's why they brought him in.
He was in there, yeah.
Yeah. The Big John, Little John characters, they kind of grew on me, man. I was like, okay, these guys are funny.
Yeah.
They're a little eccentric and over the top. Great decorating skills, by the way. Man,
that was
Myers'
a sweet house, man.
Myers' house has never looked better.
Yeah, that was, but yeah, that kill was pretty rad. And I mean, to show that, I mean, we've seen what Myers got those thumbs, right? He's got those, you know,
we've seen H4 thrown through the forehead.
So that was pretty cool. And then to think about some of the kills that were kind of just like, I think I called you last night. I was like, I felt like some parts of it, I was sitting in like something out of a scary movie.
Rob Zombie.
No, what was the one? Not Another Teen Movie or whatever. Or what's the one where they did, you know, where they're like sitting in a theater and they're scary movie, something. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
it sounds like the audience you watched it with was fucking annoying.
Yeah, they were pretty annoying. But the part where they're in the park and he kills everybody, and then the doctor lady comes back with the big gun and she's shooting him and missing every shot, and then he goes and he just like turns and looks at her and kicks the door, and she like blows her own head off.
That was fucking cool.
My God,
everybody did kind of chuckle with that, but I was like, it made me chuckle.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
So I was.
It kind of felt out of place as far as like a Myers thing to do, right? Because in that moment when he kills the nurse and he gives that brutal kill to the husband, right? Stabs him through the eye up through the head, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it, you know, and has the scene which was really cool, like a throwback to H1, right? Where 78, where he's like crawling on the roof with the nurse and smashing the windows, or you know.
Hey, there's another thing I wanted to bring up. There weren't a lot of remember this from Halloween moments that I can think of.
Well,
I mean, I guess you could say that one was one where he smashes the window that Marion's against, but it was done so quickly that they didn't linger on that. Like, hey, here's the thing from Halloween. It just happened really quick. There weren't a ton of those kind of moments that drove me nuts in 2018.
Well, what did you think about the them saying we don't have any part of the old stories or whatever, and then they throw in they just straight out of H3, right? They bring those masks in there and have that in there. What did you think about that though?
Well, they were in 2018. You saw those same. Yep.
Were they in the background?
Those were the kids that you see trick or treating, and Laurie pulls up and she's like, "Get off the street!" Like they're wearing H3 masks. So I was fine with it because I mean that's your modern day audience isn't gonna know. Oh, that's from Halloween 3.
Right. Well, yeah, I get it. I mean, and it was like a little throwback. I mean, I didn't mind it much, but I just thought it was kind of. I don't know. It was cool to see him.
Yeah. Yeah, I was fine with it. It's like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to I try not to let some of those little annoyances take me out of the movie too much. I was already conditioned by 2018. I was like, yeah, there's going to be some shit that I'm going to like roll my fucking eyes at, but I'm going to try to see the good and have some fun. And the biggest takeaway for me was just seeing Michael kill. And I mean, that's what we want. We want to see Michael kill people in creative ways. And this movie definitely delivers on that. I wasn't crazy on the mask design when I first saw it, but what did you think about the mask, like overall?
I thought it was pretty cool, man. I thought the look of it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I thought he looked like sinister. You know, Zach's son is saying, "What's up?
Say what's up,
buddy?
Tell him what's up. They can hear you. Say what's up." Not talking.
That's okay. But yeah, the look of the mask really grew on me overall. I mean, Michael just looked sinister as fuck in this. Like, one of the most intimidating Myers this might be like one of my favorite portrayals of Myers in any of the movies. Definitely top 3.
Yeah. I mean, he was pretty badass.
Almost reminded me of Part 6 in a way, like how just ruthless he was.
Yeah. So this thing has a 46% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, as of right now. I don't know how.
Not too surprised.
Yeah, how that will go, up or down. But I don't know.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, it's one of those ones you just have to go in and just let your guard down and just.
Yeah, do you think that over time this movie will grow on you a little bit in any way?
I do. I think I'm going to try to watch it again on Peacock and see, kind of just take the moments in again.
Yeah.
Yeah, little man's he's like, wrap it up. We've heard enough of Michael Myers, man.
Hey, buddy.
What's up? And no, I think, once you watch it again and kind of see, it's gonna, it may make you feel a different way and that's what I'm kind of hoping for, to like get another watch on it and kind of take out some of the silly stuff and just look at the flashbacks, look at the kills again. Enjoy what I thought was the best part of it was Michael Myers, James Hughes Courtney, the look of the mask, the look of his whole demeanor. Take out just this, if you take out all the kind of silly stuff, the hospital stuff, the stuff at the beginning with re-showing and retelling the story and the boogeyman stuff, and they could have had a couple different other things. I think this could have been right there with 18 and been better, honestly. Do you say this is better than 18?
As well, 2018 felt more like a start to finish movie.
Yeah.
It felt more conclusive. This really feels like the pulling back of the arrow. And then in Halloween Ends, we're going to let it fly.
Yeah.
Because it ended very abruptly, which I figured it would.
Yeah. Got to leave you on a cliffhanger, right? Yeah. Or on the edge of your seat, wanting more.
Yeah. Do I think it's better than 2018?
When I think of 18, though, I think that movie could have been like a one and done. Do you think that could have been possible? Like if if they really would have showed like something at the end where Michael was dead and they all drove off in that truck and
that could have been
a
a complete movie by itself. I guess for that reason, I would say 2018 is a better movie. I just like Michael much better in this one because in 2018 we got a lot of off-screen deaths, like a lot. This one pulls no punches in terms of violence and stuff, and I'm fucking here for it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a sucker for the Halloween series, but I just fucking love seeing Michael on screen killing people.
Yeah.
And that's what it gave me. And I just,
you were there for the him and him only, and like the kills. I mean, if you're there for that only, this gives you everything you want, right?
He's kind of the star of the movie.
If you're there for like backstory and like good dialogue and all that, you're not going to get that in this, right?
You know what? I had this thought. Obviously, I love Halloween 78, okay? But is that movie really... Tell me anything about Laurie or Annie. Is there really a whole lot of story there?
Well,
are they really fleshed out characters? Isn't it still really about Michael creeping around and it's, atmospheric and moody? Do we really watch that movie for the story of it? Not really. I mean, the story is way more well written than Halloween Kills, but I mean, we're not talking about Shawshank Redemption here, it's not Shakespeare.
Right.
That doesn't excuse some of the Evil Dies Tonight and all that cringy shit. It doesn't excuse that. I recognize that is just garbage writing there.
Yeah. I mean, you'll never get that. I think just the feel and the atmosphere, knowing that the time frame that movie was set in and just everything about it, what it stood for in 78. I think that's, even if it, like you're saying, the characters weren't like fleshed out and stuff, but you'll never get that again. And you can't, it's comparing apples to oranges at this point. It really is.
I just wish for Halloween Ends, they would just focus on creating a little more atmosphere. Everything doesn't have to be so fucking bam, bam, next scene. Like, let the movie breathe a little bit more. Because in this one, it was much like 2018. It was just very fast. And I will say this one, it felt like a Halloween movie. It looked like a Halloween movie. Was the suspenseful atmosphere of the original there? Not really.
Yeah. I think that's where you lose some of it. It was the suspense, where you're just so like the way you see Michael or he's portrayed is great, but you see it's just almost like too much, too in your face, or like not so much the kills, because that part is great, but like just seeing him walk around and he's like, you're seeing him surrounded and like different parts of it, right? I mean,
it was certainly different.
Like I said, I'm going to rewatch it. I'm 50-50 on the fence of, is it enjoyable? Do you put it up there with in the top ones, or obviously you'll never be, it's a different apples to oranges. Like I said, you're never going to compare that original 4, 5, 6 movies to these new ones, just because the time frame, the way they were shot.
Yeah.
The silly shit that went on in those, the silly stuff that went on in these, and
but think about this, dude. Think about how badly they could have fucked these movies up.
Yeah.
These aren't perfect, but damn, there's a lot that they do get right. But this could have been like Nightmare on Elm Street remake, garbage, just generic. Here's a fucking product. See you later.
Yeah.
At least you can tell that they care deeply about this franchise, and they don't always make the best decisions, but they do get a lot right. So Halloween fans are just passionate, man. They almost to a fault sometimes, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's like I called you last night. I was just right out of the theater. I was fired. This is a piece of shit. I don't know. It just
look, man, when I got out of the theater, Alyssa asked me, she was like, so what'd you think? And I was like, it's pretty good. I got to think about it. It's almost like you got to digest it.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, and watch it a second time, maybe a third time, just to kind of say, okay, you got to look past all of it, like we've already said, and just go for it. But I don't know. The last thing, I'll say here is like, as far as like what he is or how this continuation goes, like he's so, at this point, like we said, he's not human. obviously how you're going to go with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm interested. That's what's kind of keeping me interested. Like, where do they go from here? Right. Because there is a lot of different ways that they could, well, I don't know how many more ways, not really much now, because you've proven that he's obviously not human. Right. So that those, go ahead.
Sorry. I like that they are going to set it 4 years later or whatever, because we need some breathing room from these two movies. Like, so much has happened. Need to let a little bit of time pass. And it'll be interesting to pick up 4 years later where Allison, Lori, Hawkins, where all these people are in their life. And I hope that they really tone it down and pump up the atmosphere. And I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think you can slow down now, man. Your foot is on the pedal.
Yeah, if they knock Halloween Ends out of the park, I mean, oh man, we need that movie.
They got it. We need. Yeah, you got to have something. I mean, just to blow it. Yeah, to just blow it. I mean, blow it out of the water. Almost like. Do you kill it? Like, they're gonna have to kill him. They have to kill him, and Lori's got to die. But how do you kill him? Do they blow him up like Jason Goes to Hell style and end up, something like that? I don't know. What do you do? I don't know. But yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of my thoughts of it right now. Just watching it one time in the theaters, and we can retouch on it again on maybe a future episode.
Yeah, man.
Watch it again, and it's one of those ones. I think either you go in, you're gonna either love it or you 50-50 or whatever. But if you're there for Michael Myers and you're there for the kills and some of the atmosphere, some of the flashback stuff, it's for you. If you're there for, is this going to compare story wise to some of the earlier ones or like 2018 or dialogue? It's or maybe like great over the top acting, like you said. Like, this isn't Shawshank. This is not for you, right? Maybe.
Sure.
But I think they did justice for it, for an average fan, for a lover, for somebody that walks in off the street on a Friday night in October and wants to see a scary movie, right?
Yeah.
Because there were people in there last night that not to say they didn't know what they were watching, but it was packed, and a lot of people seemed to enjoy it, right? Whether it was funny to them or shocked in some parts, like, oh my gosh.
I think this movie is, I don't know the box office numbers, but I think it's crushing it at the box office.
I'm sure it is. And people have waited. You've waited for this, like your diehard fans or your average Halloween fans. But also, hey man, it's October. You put a Halloween movie out. The world is kind of healing. Nature's healing itself. Get in the theater, see a Halloween movie, or sit at home. Like I'm going to probably do tonight or tomorrow, watch it on TV again, and just try to enjoy it,
So Zach, before I let you hop off here, I put up a little questionnaire on Instagram earlier, like, hey, if anybody's got any questions or comments, ask away. And I got like 5 here. Are you?
Let's do it.
Okay. The Movies to Drink To podcast. Those guys are hilarious, by the way. Said, I enjoyed it, but the twat behind me kept kicking the back of my chair every time anyone died. Okay.
You got to get those recliner seats, man. You got to get the recliner seats with the little, get a little bougie. Got to get the.
Oh, man. I was reclined back, dude. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can't really do much for that.
Yeah. Fox on the Run asks, so Michael is supernatural again, yes? I would say so.
Some point, yeah. I mean, he's definitely. Like I said, either that or he's a T-1000 or something. He's definitely not going to die by just getting shot or stabbed or beat Loomis style with the 2x4.
And personally, I think it's like, make him supernatural.
Yeah,
that's
whatever.
Cool with me.
Yeah,
fine. Yeah.
Yep.
Rise Horror Corner asks, do you really think Karen got killed at the end? I don't know if I asked you this, but. Yeah,
we did. We touched on it. I think. I think for the story to progress, she has to die pretty much.
I could see them explaining that away somehow. It almost felt dreamlike when it happened.
It did. But that's where you got to think: did she really die, or did she not, or was it? like dreamlike, because she saw his kid's the young Michael, and then she goes up there, and then he's like in the street, and then boom, he's there, and then he kills her.
Yeah, it was almost like she got knocked unconscious or something and had a dream that she saw Michael. And so,
well, the way they did Hawkins, you just don't know. I mean, at when 18 ended, you would have never thought like Hawkins was alive, right? He's dead.
Right,
like you thought, hey, he's dead, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
And so, see what happens.
Thomas Baker 97 asks, "What was the only thing you liked about the movie?" Well, there was a lot
of things, but
a lot that I liked. I feel like we already touched on that one. Overall, Michael. If one word answer, Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
Reynolds Wrapped, shout out to Kevin, said, thoughts on the Loomis stand-in part of the flashback. Talked about that as well, but I'm here for it. Fuck it. Yeah, Dr. Loomis, what's up?
Could have been worse. Could have been done a little different, better maybe. When he came in and said that,
overstay its welcome. It didn't overstay its welcome, so they got that right. Like, boom, there he is. See you later.
We could have done without the one-liner with the "Did he kill again?" We could have done without that. But as far as like trying to get someone that looked, take it for what it is. He's not Donald Pleasance. He's either CGI'd or whatever they did, or prosthetics. Like, hey man, you got what we got, and it was. Did his voice sound similar? Yes. But that's what we got. So
Michael kill again. Oh man. All right. Well, Zach, I know you gotta hop off here. But hey, thanks so much for doing this, man. I really appreciate it. I'm glad
hashed out some stuff.
I'm glad that you got to sleep on it and we didn't we were going to record this last night, but it just got too late. And we were like, let's just do this tomorrow. But I think that worked out for the best.
Yeah.
Because I know I wouldn't have wanted to have given my thoughts on it out of the theater. I'd been like, I don't know. Like,
I'm still, like I said, I'm still split and may watch it again and think, God, this is just not, I'm going to probably sit here and watch it again and say, damn, these.
On my rewatch, the dumb parts, I was like, yep, that's still fucking stupid. But, you just got to take it for what it is. I don't know. But, I'll let you go. Thank you for doing this, man.
Sounds good. Yeah, man. It was a good time.
Awesome, dude. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this baby. And,
all right.
I'll text you later or something, man.
All right. See you guys. Check out the Patreon. Check out YouTube.
Hey,
Plug the band.
Hey, and, check out the Spook House podcast on YouTube if you're not already watching this on YouTube.
Yep.
So lots of cool shit coming soon. So check it out. All right, Zach. Thanks again, man. I'll talk to you later, man.
Later, guys.